Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we will be discussing Tales of Zestiria, the second season, episode 3. Okay, so really quick before we get into the review, to be honest, when it comes to Tales of Zestiria for me, I'm not gonna lie. It is getting pretty stale in my opinion. So as to why that is, I will be discussing right now in this review. So in the very beginning of this episode, we actually see Dezel and Lila have an all-out battle with one another. You know, Lila's trying to quell Dezel's rampage because we know that Dezel is willing to do everything within his power in order to make sure, you know, Rose, you know, get what she wants, you know, gets her revenge. And he is willing to do anything he can in order to help her. So we see Lila trying to quell Dezel's rampage because he is just, you know, blowing up the city. Not technically blowing up, but he's causing a massive storm to happen. And if, you know, this storm is happening right now, there could be civilians involved that might be killed. So, of course, Lila is wanting to stop Dezel, and she eventually does with this, like, explosion, Konosuba style. And I gotta say, that scene alone was very, very well done. Very well done. Like, even the animation during that scene, that explosion that she does, we see that Dezel, you know, puts up a force field. Of course, he didn't get hit. He went unscathed. But that scene alone where Lila freaking uses her explosion powers, her fire attacks, like, that was sick. So after the battle between Lila and Dezel, we eventually see Saray in the group, you know, communicating with Dezel and asking him questions why he did what he did, and Dezel basically tells them that it's all for Rose. You know, we see that actually Dezel is this sort of guardian that watches over Rose ever since that, you know, when she was a child. And regarding what I said in my previous review of, you know, Tales of Zestiria, I was clarified that the reason why Rose can actually sense Dezel is because of an aura he brings on. But she cannot see him. Okay, so we know that she cannot see Seraphim or even Dezel for that matter, but because of the fact that Dezel has always been by her side, she can feel a strong presence, you know, that there is somebody watching over her. So regarding Rose's past, we see that apparently she was a war orphan, and she was wandering the battlefield one day when this individual known as Brad took an interest to her and saved her. So Brad basically adopted her and taught her how to survive, the way of the blade. He didn't hide anything from her and, you know, just basically express the person who he was and why he does the thing he does. And we eventually see that Rose, after he passed away, carry on his will. And she really idolized Brad. She looked up to him, but she became very distraught after his passing, but again, carried on his will, and that is why Rose, you know, acts the way she acts. So basically, the last person that Rose, you know, actually trusts and has a very close relationship with, even though she cannot see him, is Dezel. Dezel is the guardian angel, so to speak, to Rose, and has looked over her ever since she was a child. So after a little backstory that we get of Rose, we eventually go back to another section in which Saray, you know, it's very dialogue heavy with, you know, Saray's character. You know, he's basically just wondering how he can be a better shepherd, quell everyone who is dealing with malevolence in their life. He wants to create a world without wars, and this is something that we have heard thousands and thousands of times over within this series, how Saray is just like, I want to be this better individual. I do not want to see others care, or others, you know, killing each other. So we have heard this thousands and thousands of times in the episodes of Saray. So we kind of get the picture already, so I don't really know why, you know, they keep on repeating this sort of cycle with his character. I mean, We get that much. We know that. So at the end of that scene, we actually see them saying, you know, I wonder how Alisha's doing. I wonder how she is handling things regarding her role in the kingdom as becoming princess. And we get to the end of the episode with Alisha, and apparently she ends up getting ambushed by these troops who she was fighting against, and a lot of her men ended up dying in this ambush, but then she eventually goes, you know, and retreats, and then she discusses with her fellow troops that, you know, I'm willing to do everything within my power in order to bring peace throughout this land as well, and I know that the shepherd is also counting on me. I know that he is doing the same thing that I want to accomplish, so I need to get stronger in order to progress and, you know, bring peace throughout the warring, you know, states that are going on right now. So yeah, when it comes to this episode, like I said before in the beginning, like, Tales, the second season so far, has been getting kind of stale, and even the first season, I would say, was kind of stale as well. And don't get me wrong, Tales is a pretty good series. I like it. I do. It's enjoyable, but, like, I don't think it's being handled right compared to the game. You know, I know that they are changing certain scenes and events that have happened from the game, but I think just the story is very dialogue heavy. There's not a whole lot of action going on, and don't get me wrong, I know a whole lot of action, you know, doesn't make a series. It doesn't, you know. The story is what counts, but how the story is being handled, like, I don't know, I just feel like the same thing is being repeated, especially with Saray. We actually see battles end up going about that only last a couple minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes, especially with that battle with Lila and Dezel. That ended quick. The ambush with Lila, or excuse me, the ambush with Alisha, that ended quick as well. I just believe that, you know, these, you know, fights, you know, just end like that. Especially in Season 1 when we saw the Lord of Calamity actually appear. In the game, you fight the Lord of Calamity. When it came to that scene back in Season 1, they barely did anything. They barely did anything. It didn't last long at all. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that the action is what makes the series, but how Tales is being handled, nothing much is happening with these episodes, to be honest. It's all dialogue. It's all dialogue, and it's just, it doesn't really keep you interested, I don't think. It's good that we see the corruption going down within the cities. I like that bit and the political aspect of this series. When it comes to the fights, not so much. It's not really that intriguing. It's only good for, you know, a certain, you know, amount of time. And the rest is all dialogue heavy, and Saray complaining that he wants to be, you know, this shepherd that wants to bring about peace throughout the lands, and that cycle repeats and repeats and repeats after every single, you know, episode, almost every single episode. So I don't know what to feel about Tales of Zestiria, the second season, and just the season as a, or just the series as a whole. It's not a bad series. It's not a bad series, but it's definitely lacking in some aspects that make me not really as enjoying as much as I thought I would when this series was first announced. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you are enjoying Tales of Zestiria, do you think that the story is lacking in some aspects? You know, just let me know your overall thoughts on what you think about Season 1 of Tales of Zestiria, and what do you think about this season so far, and maybe even the overall series as a whole. Let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you want to stay updated to my future content on this channel, hit that red subscribe button down below. And you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.